mine.
OMG.
Jack, we're trying to record. That's my dog, and he just saw someone, and he's okay. Should we just let it lie? Are you okay?
You okay, hon?
Everything's fine.
You're okay. You're okay.
Look at his hair. Look at his fur.
He's all hackled up.
Jack, it's okay. He saw someone out there, but it's fine. He's just protecting. Welcome to Detour Guides. We're your guides and hosts,
Tory.
and Allie, two chicks navigating life's detours while sipping on candor and cocktails.
I'm Tory. I'm a TV personality and content creator on the hunt for my next job while I'm processing the grief of my mother's passing. Allie, what about you?
I'm Allie. I'm a TV producer and writer working on a career pivot so I can make my move abroad dreams a reality, which just so happens to kind of be today's detour.
Look at that.
Speaking of which, all aboard, abroad. We're talking about all things move abroad and travel, where this desire often comes from and how it manifests in people. I'm getting real about why I'm pursuing a life abroad, and Tori tells us about her own wanderlust. But before we get into it, Tori stole my friends, and I have insomnia. So please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle. Remember, it's often the detour that can define you, and enjoy the ride.
That was so good.
Thanks. We're getting better.
It was great.
Welcome back, detourists. How's it going?
What's up, detourists?
Before we get into Rosebud Thorn, nice new space.
Beautiful space.
Like, wow.
We will get our vaginal pink curtains back.
Oh my God, I didn't
And
even realize
our
the curtains,
lights.
The curtains are not here. We're leaving.
I'm out. But yeah, don't worry. But look how airy and open, and it's just a really breathable space. So happy to have made the move, and congrats and mazel to Dude IDK.
Yeah, this is very exciting. It's a beautiful new space. They're leveling up, and hopefully they don't get too good for us.
Yeah,
so
that's
anyway,
right.
Let's go.
Moving abroad is the theme today.
That is the theme.
That's the
I kind of
detour.
jumped ahead and just like got right into it.
I wanted to make sure we got that out. So that's what we'll be talking about in the future. But let's go through our
Rosebud Thorn.
Nice.
Something good, something we're looking forward to, and something crappy. Do you want to start with Thorn just to like...
Sure.
Maybe this will help our mood stay level.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so Thorn it up.
I lost my...
Thorn it up?
I lost my dog. Is that... What a great way to start.
I think that's above a thorn.
It's super thorny. I'm like in a briar patch. Yeah, I said goodbye to my dog of 16 years, and I don't need to go through it. Anyone who's been through it knows the pain. I miss her poignantly, exquisitely. Having her by my side was everything, and I'm in terrible heartbreak. But I'm watching the whole series of Suits.
Oh. What does Suits have to do with losing an animal?
It's the way I'm comforting myself.
Oh, it's your comfort
I find
show.
myself watching it endlessly.
I thought you were about to say, like, I'm watching Homeward Bound in the dark.
No.
If you watch Homeward Bound a second
No.
time, you're a sociopath
and
a masochist.
No, that's like watching Bambi over and over. But yeah, it was horrible, but she went in peace. But that's all I'll say because I don't want to cry.
Can't
about
handle
it.
it. Yep. So, you know what? This episode is dedicated to Josie Rose.
Yeah, it is.
We're just going to say that. We do Rosebud Thorn. Today it's called Josie
Rosebud
Thorn.
Thanks, Jacob.
You know, I feel, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
do.
going to say it.
Every
you know.
pet parent understands right now, and I feel you. And anyone going through it, I definitely empathize.
Okay. Mine is just kind of lame, but I'm sleeping like crap. I don't know why. I'm not that girl that has issues sleeping. I can't make it through the night. Sounds
Really?
like I'm like wetting the bed. I can't make it through the night.
Can you take a pill?
I take an edible,
Okay.
but it still is not, I'm waking up, it's like between 2 and 4. And luckily I can go back to sleep, but it's like sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it doesn't. It's very frustrating. I need sleep. I've always been that person that needs 8 hours, and it's just, I don't know. I wonder if it's just like getting older.
Yeah. Fit On is free. If you guys don't know, it's an app, and you can do restorative sleep yoga before you try.
I wonder, restorative, have you ever done it?
Yeah, it's really boring. They're like, lean to your left, and then you lean for 3 minutes. And you're supposed to be meditating, but I'm like, when do we move to the right?
You're putting up a good testimonial for me to try this. Okay.
Yeah. Well, put me to sleep.
If it will, you know, and there's an app or a podcast called like Put Me to Sleep or something. And the goal is to not make it through because you've fallen asleep.
Which is a great idea.
Can you imagine the person who does this pod is like, the goal is for no one to listen to me.
Yeah, but like imagine the voice on that.
Yeah. No, that's true. It's like Hinge. They say the app meant to be deleted.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is a good motto.
That's great.
But anyway, I don't know how we got there. So that's my thorn. Hopefully it'll get better. We're going to kind of jump around. What's your rose?
I met Allie's friends who are now my friends.
Yeah, well, they are yours. And I'm one of those, I have friends that are weird about mixing groups and cross-pollinating. I'm the opposite. I love when friends get together, like college friend, work friend, blah friend,
You
gym
should be,
friend.
if you ever want to be an event planner,
Oh, thanks. Well, I feel like producing is kind of
you
like,
know what you could be called? Allie do highbrow events.
I think I like that.
Silence.
I'm surprised. No, the reason I took a beat is like, I'm like, why didn't I think of that? I'm like the wordsmith punny person.
Yeah, it's really good.
Allie do highbrows, but I'd have to do fancy things.
Yeah, of course.
I
But you
couldn't
were
do
great
like,
at me. Anyway, so I met her friends, and now they're my friends. And Allie's just really good at setting people up and networking really well. And I
Thanks.
just really loved it.
Yeah, we had a fun little mixology event with my women's group, and we did like some cocktails and schmoozing. And yeah, I had some friends, Tory included, not in the group, that came. And I think it's brave to come to things like that when you don't know the person.
I came alone, but I left with friends.
We walk as in as strangers, we walk out as friends.
We did. I walked in terrified and left happy.
And yeah, no, I'm excited. We're all going to get together.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
And what's your rose?
My rose is I saw Kelsey Ballerini with my sister at the Ballerina.
Nice.
Have you heard of Kelsey Ballerini?
Yeah, I just don't know her well.
She's like a kind of edgy country singer. I feel like I don't want to say a ripoff of Taylor Swift because she's really good and really talented. She's actually on The Voice. She's a coach on The Voice right now.
Wow.
My sister's obsessed with her. Her friend bailed on her on the concert. I was like, I'll be your sloppy seconds. And we went, and oh my God, it was so fun. She was at the Ballerina, so Ballerini at the Ballerina. No one else seemed to pick up on that but me.
I mean, clearly, that's where you go with
but
that.
she's great. I mean, she's adorable. She puts on a good show. You can tell she's just like good people. She's very like female empowerment. I loved it.
It was
my
a lot of
sis-
sparkles. I like a lot of sparkles.
Oh, it was all sequins,
Yeah,
all
that's what I
cowboy
like.
boots, cowboy hats.
Good.
It was cute.
That's
And
what I like.
My sister hadn't been out since baby number 2, so this was like a big deal. She was like, I'm having a margarita. I was like, yes.
Go for
Can
it.
have as many margaritas as you want. So
That's
yeah, it was
right.
really fun.
That's awesome.
All right, bud time.
So I have a callback. It's for QVC, everyone.
Yes!
Yay.
Oh my God, my father's favorite network of all time.
Yeah, I would have to move, but we'll see what happens. And they really like me, so we'll see. They want someone really real, relatable, understanding of the product, but like not like, look at this candle, it'll change your life. It's more like, this candle is awesome.
Oh, okay. And that's it. That's the
Yeah,
sell.
they want a soft sell.
And if you call now, you can get 2 candles for
But
the
yeah,
price
they don't
of one.
even want it like that.
Interesting.
And I think some people auditioned, guys, and they pretended that it was selling out, like a fake audience. And they were like, oh no, we're selling out of this. And they're like,
Just in.
Yeah, they're like, please don't do that.
Wait, so what was the first callback like?
I showed up on Zoom and there were 17 people on Zoom staring at me. And they all were like, tell us about your life and then sell us a product.
Oh,
and
that's no pressure.
And it was live. And I was like, this is where I shine.
You do.
Because I don't shine very often in any other locations, but like at the zoo and live TV, mwah.
By the way,
I love the zoo.
I just taught my nephew chef's kiss. It's the cutest thing ever. Wait, at the zoo? Why?
Love a good zoo. I just
Okay.
love a zoo.
You're just in your element with all the animals.
Love a zoo. But I'm just saying live TV. And then they go sell us the product. And all 17 faces went blank. They went and turned themselves off.
Thank
so now I'm
God.
staring at 17 squares being like, enjoy this concealer. It was weird.
Was it the Natasha Denona concealer? Sorry, we won't recommend that anymore. But if you want to sponsor us, Natasha, feel free.
Please do.
Wait, would you rather them have the screen off or on? Because I would rather have it off to perform.
I want them on. I like seeing the people.
Yeah, see, there's the difference. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, can you just give me a quick, like, because you're good at this, like, what is your QVC alter ego?
Her name is Charlie Palmas.
Okay, yeah. Charlie with like an EY.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's a tomboy, but she knows how to go high glam.
Yeah, like her mom, she grew up with her mom ordering all the shampoos and things. And so she's like, I know QVC. I grew up with QVC.
Yeah.
I was made for QVC.
Yeah, and she practiced in the shower. So
Okay,
that's
cool.
what.
Well, I hope you get it.
Thank you.
I mean, selfishly, the move freaks me out, but I'm moving to a different country, so I guess I shouldn't be so selfish.
There you go.
But that's exciting. Okay, and
What
then
about you?
Mine is, well, speaking of moving, I booked 2 weeks in France next month for scouting cities in France to maybe live.
Oh
Yes, and bonus, my mother's coming. She's never been. She kind of was just like she's been to Greece and and Africa, random, but those are the only places she's been in her life. She was like, I'm coming.
That's amazing.
And so she was like, can we go to Italy? And I was like, no, it's a scouting trip. So unfortunately, like I'm going to be the buzzkill. We have to really focus on like the day-to-day la-di-da of it all. So
Okay.
I'm going.
But remember, you're in France and breathe in the Parisian air.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay,
We'll be
good.
in Paris for a few days, and then we're going to Lille. Am I saying that right? Lille,
Yeah.
Reims,
Okay.
and Orleans.
Okay.
If anybody has any recs, send them my way. But yeah, 2 days in each, just kind of get a feel, see like dog friendliness, see expat population, and just like vibe and energy. And
There you go.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. So
Getting
I'm very
real,
excited.
everybody. Speaking of, let's get into it.
Okay.
If you are interested in traveling or making a detour in your life about moving anywhere, it could be down the street or it could be all the way like Allie across the Atlantic.
Don't ask me. I don't know maps. or I
Jacob,
don't
is
know
it the
directions.
Atlantic?
It's across the ocean. It's an ocean away.
No, it's the Atlantic.
This just goes to show you, like,
it's the Atlantic. I'm not an idiot. It's the Atlantic.
I'm an idiot.
No, the Pacific is by California. Let's not make ourselves look terrible.
Geography means nothing to me. Like I had to take this. Sorry, I'll get into it in a minute. I had to take this class when I moved to California from New York called World History and California History and World Geography, and everyone took it in freshman year. But since I came 11th grade, I had to take it with all the freshmen as a junior, and I did terribly.
And you didn't do well?
Yo, you had to remember every country, every ocean body of water.
Never.
All I remember is the place called Djibouti. Djibouti.
Starts with a D.
Yes, DJ.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's get into I'll Drink to That. Cheers to the start of our detour. So today I'm just bringing it to my favorite drink in Spain. It's called Vermut Rojo, which technically means red vermouth. Most people think vermouth is just the clear stuff you make martinis with. Not so.
It's this, guys.
Yes, and this is an aromatized wine. So it's fortified with distilled alcohol and flavored with some botanicals. And it's definitely not the same as having it in Spain with like some pan con tomate, but here we are in America at Dude, I Don't Know. Drinking.
Dude, IDK. Cheers.
Cheers. Salud.
Salud. Is this wine?
It's not wine. It's an aromatized wine. So yes.
Okay.
It is in that it's technically, does it taste like wine? Not at all.
Okay.
No. I love it. I just think it's so easy.
Yeah, very refreshing.
Isn't it?
Very refreshing.
Now imagine that on in Spain
a
on like a
sunlit
sidewalk.
Sevilla
Exactly.
day with fresh oranges, some tapas, some olive oil, and fresh bread.
A man named Marco.
I'm good.
So yeah, I love this stuff. It's fine for what it is here, but in Spain it's
Yummy.
like 20 times better. Okay, so let's talk pros from the pros because we're not doctors
We are definitely not.
or professionals. But let's talk about what many expats have attested to after moving abroad. So this is like the science, the mindset behind it all, and then we'll get into the spiritual. So people are moving abroad a lot more than normal lately. And when I say abroad, I feel like everyone thinks Europe only, but it's not just Europe. It's anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world that's not America or not your native country. I'm not going to get political, but it is a fact that move abroad statistics have gone up since this election. And I'm just going to leave it there. It's not why I want to go, but it definitely isn't hurting. So there's a lot of people, a lot of Facebook groups, just a lot of community out there to find. People report a better sense of self, and that's because living authentically, I don't think you can ever go wrong. And if you're being brave enough to move to a different country, it's brave to move to a different state, wherever you do, uproot your life, but a different country with difference of culture and all that, like you are authentically living your life and you're doing it just mostly for you, personal reasons, unless it's like for a job, but that's not what we're talking about. So people report a better sense of self, more creativity. This appeals to me a lot. I want to go there and I want to write and I want to tap into a different part of my brain than I'm used to using in television. People get very creative. And of course, when you change your environment, creative juices flow.
But even like American authors who went abroad, painters who went abroad, I mean, I'm kind of thinking of like all these people who went abroad really found the craze back then to find the creative spirit to write.
More creative juices, a more open mind. When you expose yourself to different cultures, I mean, you've traveled, you can't not grow from that, right?
Yeah. I think even getting on the plane and like starting off and then being like, where am I? How do I get around?
Yes.
What do I do? Your brain is just growing and synapses are breaking and all your tropes and stereotypes about people go away too. That's something beautiful about traveling.
God, I love that.
Yeah.
Independence, like who are you going to rely on except for yourself in a foreign country? Even if you move with people, those are your people, but you're also in a place where everything's foreign to the people with you. So, I mean, you kind of have to create a sense of independence. If you don't have it, you're thrown in with the sharks. I pride myself on being very independent, but I will say when I go to a new country, I'm a little nervous. Like, I have no creature comforts. I have to rely just on myself. I don't speak the language. But I learned so much, and you come out feeling better, and you kind of feel like a badass because you did that.
Yeah, it's a leap. It's a very
big leap. Healthier lifestyle. I mean, look, Mom, universal health care. I'm just saying, for me, this is something I'm really looking forward to. But not all places have health care. I get it. It's privileged to have it. But I wish we didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, my mother-in-law's back went out on a plane to New Zealand, and she got off the plane, went to a doctor. They gave her medicine, gave her a shot, and they're like, wait, here's my New Zealand accent.
Oh, boy.
That'll be 40 euro. Do they do euro? I don't know what it is.
It's not.
But it's like, and they were like, we have great healthcare, and we hope you're well. And and she was like, I was fine. It was great. And it was $40 or whatever it was, and she was fine.
Because that's how it should be.
I know.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
An Aussie and a Southerner had a baby, and that was Tory the last 30 seconds.
I'm trying to do Flight of the Conchords, but it's not.
Oh,
really
boy.
working.
No, it was a good effort.
Thanks.
I know in Australia they pay in dollars, but it's obviously not US dollars.
Dollars.
I don't know if New Zealand does, but yeah, I mean, it's insane. I mean, the amount of people that, just don't get things checked out because they're scared of the bill here. Don't get me started.
And a lack of guns.
That's true too.
I don't mean to make this political, and I'm not. I'm just saying some people are leaving because of that. My dad's helped as an attorney several people get golden visas just to get out of here. That's where it's New Zealand again.
Wow, I'm sensing a theme. Yeah, it's New Zealand. Wait, so they have the golden visa?
Yeah, if you have enough money and you've made it on your own, you have to prove with like people and documentations and like references, they will allow you to come to New Zealand. But they want to keep it really low population. Sure. So yeah, he's helped people move so much in this climate because of the climate.
The climate. Listen, the gun thing is just a fact. The guns are not an issue in other places.
Even in Asia, Japan,
wherever you go, it's not what it is here.
Yeah, it's just not. So I had to bring that up when you said safety. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Less preservatives in your food. I can eat pasta in Italy and not end up in the bathroom. That's nice.
Let's clip it.
Let's clip that. But we all listen, what do they call it? Hot girl IBS or whatever that viral thing was on TikTok. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh my God, I have to send you the TikToks. I'm like, IBS was trendy like a few years ago.
God.
And I was like, you've got like the viral, whatever smoothie, Hailey Bieber smoothie with a side of IBS. I was like, okay.
Oh God.
Anyway, you ever had that Hailey Bieber smoothie?
No, it was like, no.
I'm going to try it. It's like $25.
Yeah, at Erewhon. We used to live right next door to Erewhon in LA.
I heard Erewhon is supposed to be nowhere backwards.
Yeah, there was people who said that, yeah.
But I don't think the letters do that.
They don't.
Okay, cool. So anyway, so those are kind of the scientific parts of moving abroad. And I say science, it sounds weird, but those are the proven facts. Now we're getting to the spiritual, and I want you to take this because you are the spiritual person.
Okay, so if you study anything about any spiritualism, the idea of growth mindset is right there. So already you're in a growth mindset. But second of all, there's a sense of your creature comforts being taken away. Mm-hmm. And this has happened to me whenever I've traveled, and even if it's to a nice place, you just are uncomfortable. And in spiritualism, that's a great time for you to go into mindfulness. So here's the idea. You feel the feeling. I don't want you to go somewhere and have to not feel the feelings. You feel the feelings. You just breathe through them. And somehow when you're traveling, hiccups happen more often than not, right? Mm-hmm. So I remember getting drunk in a bistro, and I had to go to Amsterdam with my friends, and I had to run, and I left my passport somewhere, and all these things are happening in a different language. And if you can detach from these comforts and really, and your plans, and kind of go, it forces you to be in the present moment.
So hard for me. I plan my trips like a nut job Excel spreadsheet, and I've tried to force myself to leave some room to just lean into the unexpected.
Because travel's not about a spreadsheet.
It's so true.
Travel is about when the spreadsheet goes to shit. That's when travel really is. And you find the little cozy couple there that takes you back in an alleyway, and they're making gondolas in Venice and you end up having wine and a dance party till 2 a.m.
It's very, very true.
You know what I mean? It's off the path, and that's the best type of traveling. And that's not always easy, and that's sometimes scary, and that's the spiritual part. You're really, really breaking new boundaries that you probably are not comfortable with, and that's a beautiful thing and a really healthy way to do it. That's a healthy mechanism to do it, traveling.
Yeah, I love it. And you get better at it the more you do it.
Yeah, right. And people who travel all the time, it's got to just be like their days are fresh. Their existence is new. Like
they've ripped up the spreadsheet is what they've
ripped
done.
up the spreadsheet.
Or they don't know what
Cheers
the hell
to
a
that.
spreadsheet is.
Yeah.
Cheers to ripping up. # rip up the spreadsheet. If we ever did merch, maybe that would say rip up the spreadsheet.
Oh my God, would anyone want, by the way, do young people know what a spreadsheet, or yeah, they do.
It is hard for me personally to lean into the unexpected. It is kind of how this whole thing started for me. I'll get there in a minute, but like, if you can just kind of, the people you meet, if you stick to your like schedule the whole time, there's no room for anything interesting to happen to you.
Right.
And that's what travel is.
Right.
I mean, I met one of my best friends on a set of stairs in Amalfi. If I wasn't open to that, then, you know.
Exactly. And you miss and you'd walk right by.
So you're right.
That's
Anyway.
right. Rip that spreadsheet up.
Rip that spreadsheet up.
But don't try to add a row. God forbid you add a row or
No
insert columns.
Yeah, we don't insert.
Do you know there's an Excel spreadsheet contest? A tournament, a tourney, if you will.
I wish I didn't know that.
And ESPN, I think, is going to put it up.
Wait, I really wish I
I
didn't
think that's
know that.
cool. If you're that good at Excel, you can go into
And I am.
Oh.
That's why I wish I didn't know that.
What's your spreadsheet contestant name?
What do you mean contestant name?
You have to have a player name.
Oh, okay.
Are you insert row? Insert column? No, that's very
Allie.
corny. No, don't use your real name.
Oh, okay. I'm hold on.
Your
Google.
Your file save.
Yeah, we'll go with that, but
Okay.
now I need to think about it and deliver next week.
All right.
For my spreadsheet name. It's like, what's your stripper name? No, that's for me. What's your spreadsheet name?
Your stripper name would be insert column.
Sounds very dirty.
That's your Excel spreadsheet name. Jack doesn't like it. Okay,
I know.
continue.
Anyway, keep going with the spiritual. You're doing great.
And also, just being able to meet new people. That's the other part of spiritualism, is that you find different cultures. And I think mixing and melting, there's nothing. I'll tell you this.
She's so excited.
A friend of mine from high school started something called a League of Kitchens. And basically you go to other grandmothers' houses that are from that country. So you go to like a South Korean's grandmother and you all cook, and she teaches you how to cook the traditional South Korean food. And then you go to the next grand. It's a Jewish grand. It's a bubby, and you make matzo balls.
Googling a League of Kitchens. This is so cool.
What you do when you do that is you learn and you grow in such a way that, like, literally, I don't know how to say this, but your brain adapts into like accepting more and learning more.
Mm-hmm.
That's what travel does every day. So when I learned how to make a salmon in a salt box. And you know what happened that night?
What?
My roommate at the time that I was living with met the guy she married and had 3 kids with later on at the salt box salmon cookout.
Okay, my Google spreadsheet name is going to be Saltbox Salmon.
Oh, that's so good.
This just in. Saltbox Salmon for the win. That's really cool. Saltbox Salmon. Call me. I'm here to win.
I love
For real.
it. So good.
Oh, that's so cool.
So that's what it can fulfill you. It fills your cup. And I don't mean just with vino. I just mean it fills you up in terms of inspiration. And that's the best part of spiritual. I just remember walking home feeling so buzzed by like just trying to speak Italian, learning other people's culture.
Drunk with wine and gratitude.
Yeah, and like drunk with adventure. There's something so stimulating about adventure. And sometimes in our American Western brain, it's 9 to 5, find the job, find the gig, find this, go to, and it's like, where's the adventure?
Yeah, and just slowing down to appreciate the adventure.
Yeah, I mean, slowing down is another thing other cultures have in spades.
Yep. Well, that's really cool. I love it. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about our personal connections to
Allie,
moving abroad.
This one's all you. This is your big, tell everybody why this is your goal.
This is your moment.
This is your moment because this is your long-term big goal.
I know.
In October, you will be in Paris, or you'll be in France.
That's the plan. That is the plan. I always say that's the plan because I'm just like, it's kind of a crazy thing to say. Just doesn't feel like it's going to happen. But I mean, I'm making the moves. But really quickly, where's the coolest place you've been?
I was in a Hooters in Switzerland.
Oh, I was like, here? Oh,
No,
you've
wouldn't
been to
that
a
be
Hooters
sad?
in Switzerland?
A Hooters in Des Moines.
Yeah. And why was that so cool?
I don't know. It was a really weird mix of cultures.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, I was in a back alley in Venice with the gondola people eating cheese. I mean, those are things and moments you have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or in Italy, staring up at Saturn through like a telescope that Galileo made and seeing the rings of Saturn. Like those moments will stay with you forever. But I thought it was really funny. There were cows, the Alps. I was eating chicken wings, and the girls were in their Hooters outfits.
Lederhosen.
But it was freezing out, so they had like little Hooters jackets. And they were
God.
cute.
Like, I'm imagining a jacket to just cover each
It was like fully a jacket. It was pretty cold.
It wasn't like a boob jacket.
No, it was like it was quite cold in the Alps, but their legs were bare.
Yeah, the dichotomy of like the Hooter, like something so very American.
Totally, with the total Swiss take. I was like, I felt like I was on acid, and I could have been at that moment.
Yeah,
so
I was just asking because that would be apropos.
It's tracks. I was staying at the Funny Farm, which was a acid commune in Switzerland.
I wish I was a fly on the wall before I met you of like your life.
Oh, it was fabulous.
Because you've got cool stories.
The Funny Farm, look it up. It's great.
You were doing that, and I was like not doing that. Like I was being I still am square, but like I was a little bad. I was a little bad girl. I was a little adventurous. Yeah, my adventurous side. I mean, I don't. I'm trying to think the most adventurous thing. We'll be here a while. Anyway, so okay. Here's where my whole thing started.
I'm going to close my computer only because I want to hear this story.
Yeah, but okay, fair enough.
So just tell me why you...
I just don't want to... I want to
Okay,
talk
I'll open
the
my
whole
computer.
time.
I don't want to be awkward.
If you could open your computer,
Okay,
I think it would make me feel better. Even if I talk the whole time, keep it open.
Okay, sounds good.
That'll make me feel better.
It's open.
So I first went to Europe right after college. I took like graduation gift money, and I was like, this is all going towards some sort of tour. And I wanted to backpack by myself. My mom's like, Allie, you don't know what's like West means. Like west of this street, you can't go alone in Europe. You're a woman, single woman. And I was like, all right, fair enough. I'll go on a tour, but I don't want to know anybody.
Okay.
And she was like, okay. So I went on this tour. It was called Contiki. Shout out Contiki. I think they're still around. And I said, I want to go to as many countries as I can for this amount of money. And I mean, full disclosure, I think it was like $2,500 to go to 8 countries in 12 days. And
that's amazing.
Yeah. And I could not hang now like I did then. It was like, on the bus.
You were like, move,
2 days.
move.
Vodka Red Bulls every day. I mean, we were on a bus. It was nuts, but it was so fun. It was the perfect time to do it. I loved it. I fell in love with just travel. After that, I went on Birthright. I went to Israel. Birthright is a free trip for people that haven't been to Israel that are Jewish. Completely free. The catch is they want more Jewish babies. But there's no
they want you to find your match.
They want you to find your...
And they want you to make a Jewish baby. That's
yes.
1,000. And I know 3 couples that did that.
Yeah. And I think if you do that, you get a free honeymoon to Israel, which is so funny.
Are you joking?
I might be, but I think that's true.
Oh my God.
We're not doctor professionals.
No,
but
we're nothing.
So I loved Israel. And then I traveled for 3 weeks by myself in Australia. Went for a friend's wedding and then ended up going for 3 weeks.
Were you out back?
I did go to the zoo.
Okay.
Speaking of the zoo, hold on. I'm gonna come back. I went to Steve Irwin's Brisbane Zoo.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen his son lately?
He is fire.
Holy shit.
He is fire.
When did Bob?
That's his name.
I love that his name is Bob.
He found a tortoise on Instagram the other day. He's like, "Oh, it's a tortie!"
Crikey.
And I was like, "That man is fine."
I don't know when he went from like 5
Is he
to...
like 12? We shouldn't be talking.
I think he's like in... No, he's legal.
Okay.
I wouldn't have brought it up if he wasn't legal.
He's like a baby Irwin, but man, he turned out to be a fine-looking gentleman.
Look it up. You know what? I'll put it in the show notes. It deserves a place on this pod. Okay.
Good for him.
Good for him. So that's where it all started. Have you ever considered moving to another country or no?
No.
Okay.
But like, New Zealand sounds good. That's the 3rd time we've mentioned.
Oh my God. This episode is sponsored by just New Zealand, period.
I would like, if anywhere, I'd go to like Australia, New Zealand.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. They have great coffee.
They have great everything.
Australia. I've never been to New Zealand.
They do have big insects. Is that or spiders? Or like, I think they have something called ghost crabs, and they're like real big.
Do you know what I love is every time we have a question, we look at Jacob, who's recording the audio, and we act like he's like the encyclopedia. I don't know why, because I mean, he probably knows some things, but he doesn't know. He's not like ChatGPT. I don't know. Anyway, okay. So, what's that? Okay. Yeah, this just in. It's the Atlantic, not the Pacific. So yeah. I mean, I've always had the travel bug. Never thought I would move. I just, when people, you just think it's not possible. Like you're like, well, it's not that it's not.
It's not even in your box.
It's not in my salmon box.
You're not salmon. You're salt box salmon.
Yeah.
It's not there. So when did it say like, oh, it's time? Wait.
So we're in 2025. 3 years ago, I went on like a soul trip. I was in between shooting shows. I just shot a gingerbread competition show. That was real. And I was like, I need a break. And so I went to, I did a week in Spain, never been to Spain. And then I did 3 weeks on the Amalfi Coast. And then I did a few days in Rome. And then I ended it by going to Milan, where my girlfriend from when I grew up in New York, she lives there. She's lived there like 14 years.
Who lives in Milan?
I know, it's crazy. And
Jesus.
I, leaning in to the whole like, go into the unknown, don't plan everything. I went on some apps because if I'm being honest, Tory, and I'm not fishing for a compliment, I am a US 6, but a Europe 9. Maybe even like a Europe 9.5. I'm not, it's true. I don't know. It's just the foreigner thing maybe, but I do really great over there.
Nice. You slay.
I do. In Australia too. So it's anywhere but the country I reside in. I date really well. But I just wanted to have some fun.
Do they have Hinge International?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You can actually change your location ahead of time to see what's out there.
Oh my God.
For free. A lot of the apps make you pay.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. So yeah, Hinge does do it.
That's brilliant.
So I was like, whoever, I just wanted to meet someone for drinks, just have a good time, very safely, of course. And I met a guy. I'm really hooked on this name, Marco. We'll call him Marco.
We're going to call him Marco, everyone.
And we hit it off. I didn't expect to hit it off with him. And to make a very long story short, we ended up dating, like exclusively in a relationship. After we met in Barcelona, I went to Amalfi for those 3 weeks, and then he met me in Rome. And we had the most like romantic 3 days in Rome. And it was just one of those things. I was, 30, I was like 36 at the time. He was 39. We had dated enough and knew what we wanted enough to know, like, this doesn't come up all the time. Let's take advantage. And so
it was amore.
It was amore.
Oh man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. So we ended up dating, and we did it for a year. It was hard, but it was great. We amicably parted ways, but I was in Spain a lot. And he was here. He came to visit too. It was amazing. But that's where I kind of got familiar with Spain. And to be honest, I thought about maybe moving, because when you're in a long distance relationship, it's like good to have a plan. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't coming.
An end in sight.
Yeah, and he wasn't coming here too hard. So I was thinking about it, but it didn't sit well with me, because I was like, I don't want to move for a guy. It had nothing to do with him. If there was a guy to move for, it would have been him.
It would have been Marco.
Yeah, and he's I think we're friendly. We're not friends, we're friendly, and I think he would agree. He's listening, so I want him to know, like, if there was ever someone to move for, it would be him, but it just, as a person and my authenticness, it didn't sit well with me. So we broke up. I couldn't get it out of my head, and God bless the Instagram algorithm, I got thrown an ad for a Move Abroad program that cost $37. It was just like a coaching week-long intensive. And that's where it changed for me. And I realized not only am I not alone, but there's tons of people that want to do this too. And there are resources for how to do it. And I've been on it ever since. And that happened about, in September is when that whole thing happened for me. And I've been on I don't want to say fast track, but it went from, can I do this, to when will I do this? Mm-hmm. And it's not been easy. The people you love don't want you to leave. They're worried. If your parents, they get worried. I mean, it's tough, but it's been a really good lesson in determination, sticking to your guns, grit, and following your path and realizing it's only your path. And if you do something for someone else, that's not an authentic life.
I like the idea of just also saying that, like, you've really glommed onto this resource. And I think it's so smart that you didn't try this alone.
Thank you. It was kind of like the tour. It's like, Allie, you don't know where you're going.
Right.
Find someone who does.
Right, exactly.
And this just got served to me. I mean, I can't stand these algorithms. But this was a moment where I was like, okay, I see you. And that program, I'm going to link it here. It's incredible. It really is. I think it's the only one of its kind.
It's smart. People should make that an industry, man.
And she did. And it's called Move Abroad Coach. Her name is Rochelle. She lives in the country of Georgia right now. Actually, she's on a scouting trip of her own right now with her family, figuring out where to go next. And she's been abroad for about 14 years.
Wow.
She was in China first, tons of places, and then landed in Georgia. And yeah, so it can be done. It is done. I'm very excited. And listen, what's the worst that can happen? I don't like it.
Yeah, you come back.
Okay.
Yeah, you do something brave and it doesn't work out. Yeah. Okay.
And I think this is one of those times where, in a society where being single and not having children by choice is often judged, looked down on. This is where I'm like, this is the plus side to this, because I can be selfish and not feel any, well, I'm Jewish, I'm always gonna have guilt, but at least I don't have to have guilt because I'm not letting anybody down per se. I'm not thinking about just myself when I should be thinking, I'm thinking about my dog, but he's coming.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how.
I don't know how.
Your guess is as good as mine. We might take a boat.
I think a ship would be lovely.
Can you imagine?
Hi-ho!
Yeah.
Jacob and I will be on the side doing the big wave. Everyone does the boat wave.
It's the Titanic wave.
It's the only wave you do that's like this.
Yeah. Jack,
why do you have to do it so big?
because I don't know, because this match the ocean?
It's a weird idea.
Not the Pacific.
No, the Atlantic.
The Atlantic. But yeah, so we will see. That's kind of my situation. I didn't want to take up too much time, but I've learned so much about visas. Goodness gracious. You have a visa question, let me know. Unless it's the golden visa, because I don't have like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I also thought the golden visa sounded really made up.
It's not, though.
Like Charlie and the Chocolate. It's not at all. It's real.
No, it's very real. Your dad's helping them.
Yes. But I just thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
But so listen to Allie. If you guys have the wanderlust, don't do it alone. There are people out there now with technology you can hook up with. Look into Move Abroad Coach.
Yep.
I just think that helps, because for me, I need structure wherever I do something.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when I'm jumping, I need some kind of
And the truth
structure.
is, you could do it on your own.
Right.
But something as big as this, why, if you have the means to not do it on your own?
Right. I
know?
agree.
So while this program is not like they don't provide you with immigration attorneys, they give you connections, they give you this, they give you that. And so I've made really good friends on there that I'm probably going to meet, and I have an immigration attorney. I have to pay her to start the process, and then that's it. So Spain was the goal. It still is the end game. But the digital nomad visa is the one I'm going after. And every country has different qualifications for it, if they have it at all. Spain is known to be the biggest pain in the ass.
Okay.
And the reason for that is they really don't accept W-2 workers. They make it very difficult. So it's 1099 or bust. And even though I jump from show to show, I'm technically not a freelancer in that I'm a W-2 employee. I'm not 1099. So to work that out, I'm going to bide my time for a year in France while making my S-Corp 1099 company, let that age, and then move to Spain. So that's why I'm going scouting in France to eventually end up in Spain.
Gosh, man.
So yeah, it was a big pivot, and that's something else I learned is
Yeah, right. Plans fall through.
Plans fall through. You are not a tree. That's something that the coach says a lot. You don't have roots. Pivot. It's just a lot of, it's everything I'm not for, which is unknown.
Right. Chaos a little.
Yeah, chaos.
But good for you.
I'm excited. Thank you.
That's where you grow, man. That's
and
the learning zone.
I hope to keep up with the whole not educating, but keeping people posted on my life there, because I feel like there's a lot of people that want to do this. And I would love to help them get there.
Be a guide, man. Be a testimony teacher, as Erica Cobb says.
Oh, a testimony teacher.
Yeah.
I like that.
Smart.
That's exactly what I want to be.
Very smart.
You have some travel stuff, though. Tell me a little bit about your shit.
Yeah, my biggest thing I would say is I really hated college. I don't know if anyone else went through. I went to University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, and I hated my school.
Oh,
I love my
really?
school, but I hated how big it was and how cold I was and how I didn't have friends. I didn't join a sorority. I was really lonely, and I have a really hard time being lonely.
Yeah. You don't like being alone.
No, I just don't. And so I had a really special roommate who was a senior when I was a freshman, and she told me, go abroad for the full year of your junior year, which she had done. So I just followed her footsteps, and I ended up going to Florence, and it was a villa. I know. Yeah. Woe is me, right? But it was with Wisconsin students and Duke.
Oh, so it's like a
and
mixture
Michigan,
of,
all three.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So it was this beautiful, all three. And we lived in this beautiful villa with frescoes and a chef. And our teachers were from Michigan, Duke, Wisconsin. So we really got to experience different types of teachers too. And it was right in 2002-3, right?
Okay.
So it was no one was on their cell phones. We had mobile phones, but you weren't on your phone.
Right. Was BBM even there with BlackBerry? I don't even know if it was
really
invented yet.
We had a computer lab that you could email, but you weren't constantly on your phone.
Simple
we
times.
had the old digital cameras. So you weren't constantly taking pictures of yourself either.
Yep.
On your phone. So I went abroad, and I was really so different abroad. I just want to let you guys know, I was so brave. I used to just do things, and I assimilated, and I started to dress like an Italian, and I started to speak like an Italian, and I started to act like an Italian. I took intense art history classes, and by the time I left, both semesters.
Full on
I was like
paisan.
Euro uncha girl.
Oh my
But I
God.
was wearing scarves from the Piazza de Santa Croce that I had haggled with, leather jackets that, the leather's excellent in Florence from there. And I could, and I was smoking my cigarettes.
Sure.
And I had my big ass Gucci glasses that
The
everybody wore.
rip-offs or?
No, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
On the streets, right? And I knew the best places to get the right types of pizza and the right types of pasta. And I could tell you from afar if a statue was a Donatello or a Michelangelo. It
Wow.
was that because from just the hands.
How long were you there?
For 12 months.
Okay, so it was a full year.
Full year. And it was the cool, I peaked.
Yeah, you really did.
It
You
was the
leaned
coolest
in.
I've ever been. And I just remember, and I had a romance there, and
Oh,
my parents visited. We went to France and Bologna, and I visited the Alps, and I got
and saw Hooters.
and like I just was nowadays I'm like, oh, I have to go to Sprouts and pick up some cheese. Oh man, that's gonna be so hard. Oh, I have to go through all this stress about it. I would get on an effing plane or train for 11 hours to go to Vienna for my birthday alone.
What is it about like travel that you like a different side of yourself comes out?
Who was that?
It was you. It still is you. It's just a side that lies dormant until you're traveling. That's
I think
my
you're
theory.
right.
Because I'm very similar.
I think you're right because, and James Baldwin has a really famous quote, and it says, "You encounter many people when you travel. You even encounter yourself."
Oh,
and
obsessed with that. Writing that down.
Right, and so I think I did, and I don't know. I was my best self, and I sometimes think back to when I'm scared to go to the grocery store. I can't do this, or I can't.
Right.
Grow
You know
up.
from the past that you've done that, and
Yes.
younger you did that.
Yeah, and like I don't know, it was just a dream, and I think back on those memories, and it's just you felt young and alive. That's something else that travel does.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, it was probably one of the best times of my life.
And am I correct in saying, like, because I know I don't want to repeat those moments, even though I wish I could do it. I don't want to do it again because it's such a moment in time.
Yeah, and
You know?
I don't want to go back to it. It was just like perfect. It was just perfect. And
Wow. So Florence is special to you.
Florence is really special, and it's very small.
Yeah, it
And
is.
it's where the Renaissance started. It started there.
It didn't start there.
No,
it
started there. And so
Yeah.
you get to see the burgeoning of perspective and 3D and what it means to have a background and someone not standing like this. And you learn about Michelangelo cutting up cadavers to study the veins in the hands. And then you go see the David.
Makes no sense.
And you see the hand, and it's like real.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was
I mean, just the fact that you're
phenomenal.
lighting up talking
Yeah,
about it
right.
tells me all
Yeah.
I need to know.
And then the last story I'll say is after dinner one night, our astronomy teacher took us into our gardens at the villa, and he had made a telescope like Galileo's, who made it in the 1600s, I believe, like a mile from where we were staying. And we looked in, and you could see the rings of Saturn, like I said. And it was like, you imagine Galileo looking at that,
and your same view as you.
same view a mile away. And it was just like, man,
It's really a
so
senseless
privileged
thing.
and so grateful for that time.
Damn.
But yeah, I can see why you'd want to live there. Look at me.
I know.
It's like
Well,
I've had 3 espressos.
You're gonna come visit me,
Oh, God.
and that side of you will be there. And
You know I'm going to show up in my Italian leather jacket.
I'm not even gonna recognize you. I'm gonna be like, oh, boy.
Buongiorno, Alessandra.
Yeah, I've never met
Come
her in my
on.
life. I don't know her.
Yeah,
Do you
right.
want to talk about that romance or no?
Oh, no, it was just...
Okay,
no.
is that for off? Maybe.
Yeah, and it was just like, but it was like what you wanted. It wasn't like, you know what I mean?
It was perfect
Under
for the here
lights.
and now. Yep.
Yeah, it was just beautiful.
Very like
and
Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen moment.
very Mary-Kate and Ashley.
I had that moment with Marco on his Vespa, and I was like,
Yeah.
it was like a mix of Lizzie
Yes.
McGuire and an
Yeah.
Olsen twin movie. If you know, you know.
Totally.
It was more like Passport to Paris. And
Yeah.
that was my best friend Drew and I live for those movies.
Ugh.
They're terrible.
See, I never watched them, but I was thinking like Roman Holiday and all these like...
See, you're more sophisticated than me. But I would love to do movie night where we just watch really bad Olsen movies. Well, all of them. Because anyway, it's amazing. I'm so glad that you
amazing.
had that too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where it's a moving, evolving thing for me. It's like it's a living organism, this move abroad thing. So I'm sure it'll come up again. It's kind of what started the podcast for me. So yeah, thanks for letting me share this. This was really special for me.
It's a big detour, but it's one that Allie, which is so exciting, has said like, you're not going to this is what grit is. No matter the setback, I'm continuing to do this. That's what's so exciting.
Ugh, amazing. Well, I'm just going to share a few replies. I don't want to go crazy because I know this is a long one, but I did ask my Move Abroad group kind of their whys and why they wanted to move. And so I think I will share some.
Please do.
So this is a couple. For us, what is making us take this leap is looking less at acquiring more things and instead having more experiences and adventure. In the end, we don't want to wake up and realize we never did the things we wanted when we could have. Not to mention the direction of the country as of late. It doesn't align with our lives and the life we want. We need more toes in the sand, sipping on a wonderful Paloma or 3, and less getting sucked into the social media and news cycle, which is just anxiety and craziness.
Ugh.
You feel it, right? You feel it.
There's still anxiety. There's still anxiety there, but it's just different.
It's different. It's not going to solve your problems.
No.
But it is going to move you in the direction you like
and soften it.
I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah. People just, they live to work. No, they don't. They work to live.
You got it.
Yeah.
My friend Evan, he and I got super tight on the program. We're actually going to meet in France. He happens to be there when I'm there.
Oh, that's great.
And he said for me it was
a little
dream.
rendezvous.
Yeah, Evan's like the little brother I never had. For me, it was a dream ever since I first visited China in grade school. Ever since then, I've wanted to travel the world. So now he's
something
living
can inspire you and click. Like
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, for me, I'd wanted to move forever, but the pandemic made me finally pull the ripcord. This makes sense.
Oh, I think this is a lot of people.
I took stock during lockdown and really got in touch with how deeply I would regret it if I didn't try. And then I got serious, sought out resources, and ended up in this amazing community.
Man, if you just take that one scary, it's not one scary step, it's 18,000 scary steps.
Yeah, but you know what? Had I not gotten that ad, wouldn't be where I am, not a chance. With having a timeline, having plans, so I think it's
you're building your bridge.
Yeah, I'm building the bridge
across the
Atlantic. I'm not gonna lie, I had to think about that real quick. Anyway, all right, well let's talk about some detour souvenirs because everyone loves swag. I'm very excited about this one.
Okay, tell us.
So because I've talked about this Move Abroad program so much and I believe in it so much, we're not doing a book. We're doing, one listener is going to win a ticket to the virtual Move Abroad crash course. This is a 5-part self-paced course with the info you need to create your dream life abroad. This can be for you. This can be gifted to a friend. Anything you want to do with it is very valuable regardless of where you're at. If you don't want to move, send it to someone who does. Hold it in your back pocket in case you might want this in the future.
Or maybe it'll inspire you.
And maybe it'll inspire you. Yeah. So I'm going to link in our show notes the Move Abroad course and the Move Abroad coach. But all you need to do to enter is follow our Instagram, Detour Guides Pod, to be entered, and we'll announce it next week.
And again, this is something that you can do, but you can also pass it along to members of your family and friends, which I think is really special.
Yeah, and it's kind of a good stepping stone to see, and a good barometer to see where your head's at if you decide to use it on yourself.
Absolutely.
So I'm really excited about that. All right, what are we on to next?
We are on to recommendations.
Oh, very Oprah of you.
I wanted to see if the echo. I've always wanted to sing with a vibrato, but I do this with my chin.
Some singers do that.
No, but I don't do it like I want Whitney, but it doesn't come out. Anyway, recommendations.
Yeah, we love them. We don't believe in gatekeeping.
We don't gatekeep.
All right, mine is very random, but very handy for pet owners. Have you heard of the Chom Chom roller?
No.
You need to own this. It is a reusable lint roller, so you don't have to buy the roll of sticky things every time, and you just empty it. So it's kind of like a vacuum cleaner. It's not electric, but you roll it on anything that dog hair or cat hair gets on, and you just empty it and you keep using it.
Nice.
It's incredible. I'm not.
So it's reusable.
That's the whole point.
That's amazing.
And it's called the Chom Chom. That's a fun thing to say.
Chom Chom.
Chom Chom.
Everyone say it right now while you're walking, driving. Say it out loud.
Chom Chom. And I'm going to link it here. I don't love that it's from Amazon right now. I'm trying to be a little better about my Amazon spending.
Okay.
I don't think I can find it anywhere else. If you do, let me know.
I like that it's reusable.
Yeah, it's about $25. And I mean, I got one for my parents, so when Jack comes to visit, they can just chom the crap out of their stuff. Yeah, it's a verb. It's a verb, chom chom. So that's mine. What's yours?
Mine is a self-tanning because it's coming into spring and we're going to be showing more skin.
Do I need to try this?
Yes, it's from Sally's. It's $11 or Amazon, but you can get it at Sally's.
Sally as in like the
beauty
nail
supply.
Oh,
yeah, Sally's beauty supply, but you can find it elsewhere. But it's called Tan Wise. I use the dark, and you just get a mitt from
Okay.
Saint Tropez, and
Cool.
it's like $5. You put these together, you put it on. 2 hours later, you look like you've been to
Saint Tropez?
Yeah, but I
Or
was
New
going to say
Zealand?
like Capri. Like you look like you've been to an Italian Riviera Mediterranean. So it's really good. It's a great color, not green based, nice and sort of a red, dark brown base, but it doesn't come out too strong. So I highly recommend tan wise.
I'm very bad at this. Could I do this?
Yeah, it's foolproof. And it comes out as you're doing it, it's bronze. So you can see where you've been.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be like a Friends episode where Ross is like, I'm a 12.
Remember that?
Yeah, the
Where'd you
best.
go to get tan? The surface of the sun?
The sun? The best. Okay, cool. We'll link that too. That's
Oh,
cool. Maybe
so
I'll get
good.
that. Is
Tan-wise.
it price points good?
$11. It's so good, you guys, and it saves me. It saves me in the winter
Wow.
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You come better with the price point. The Chom Choms double that. But okay, cool. So let's do a little recap. This one's gonna be short. That's the point of a recap, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a summary.
Yeah.
It's a good call.
So our detour's coming to an end. Let's talk about it. The scientific benefits of moving abroad, just to name a few: better sense of self, creativity, open mind, independence, exposure to new cultures, healthier lifestyle.
Less prejudice in all ways.
Chef's kiss to that.
So true.
Spiritual.
Mindfulness, having to get rid of your creature comforts,
Mm-hmm.
embracing the unknown, and staying in the present moment. Nothing like a view of the freaking Duomo to suddenly take your breath away. That's what they mean when they say you want a gap in your life. And you're like, what do they mean? And you want to take a space. When you see something like that and that's a break.
Yeah.
You're in the present moment. Just then. That's a spiritual moment. And traveling can give you that.
Absolutely. You know what also can take your breath away? The David.
Oh my God. He is far. You know what he looks like? Steve Irwin's kid.
Oh my God, the Bob.
The Bob. Is that his name?
His name's Bob.
Oh, I don't love that.
You think
Oh,
it's funny?
Robert. That's
yeah, but
better.
he goes by Bob.
Bob Irwin. Sounds
Bob
like a
Irwin,
sales
I know.
insurance.
He's anything but an older man selling insurance.
Yeah.
Anyway, the David, the Bob, potato. And yeah, gratitude as well, which I always appreciate.
Because you know why? I remember the one time I was in Italy and I couldn't find the villa and I was crying and it was my first day and a woman comes up and goes like this, La Bella. And then she goes, El Porto, which is the door. And it was right there. And then I never saw her again. And I was like, I've never been more grateful. And I still think about her 20 something plus years later.
Your little guardian angel.
She just was
Nonna.
walking up and I was like, okay, she's like, La Bella.
Ugh, what a feel-good episode, huh?
It really was.
Good Lord. All right, well, let's...
Come fly with me. Let's fly.
Yeah, so take a cue from Frank and follow us on Instagram at Detour Guides Pod and our personal IGs.
At I am Tory Schulman. You need the I am.
That is true. And mine's just Allie Dubrow.
Which
I
is
am
smarter.
Allie Dubrow, but just Allie Dubrow.
Smarter.
Drop us a line at detourguidespod@gmail.com. If you have a detour you'd like us to cover, please let us know.
Yes.
And subscribe on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you listen to podcasts. If you leave us a glowing review, maybe we'll do something nice for you there too.
Yeah, we will.
And remember, it's often the detour
That defines you.